Have you just built a new PC and not sure whether it's running optimally? In this video I'm going to show you a very quick way you can check that your hardware's been set up correctly so that you're getting the most out of your PC. Stay tuned. Hey yo guys, I'm Marlon and in this video I want to show you how I set up my PC optimally. Now there are many different ways you can do this, and usually it involves going into the BIOS and checking all the settings are correct against each piece of hardware. Now I've just recently built my new PC and I've already made a video on the parts that I selected, so you can check that up here. I'll leave a link up there or down below in the description. Just a disclaimer, there are lots of different ways you can do these checks, but I'm going to be showing you the particular way that I checked my PC. Now I use a site called User Benchmark, so that's userbenchmark.com, and what you do is you download a very small application. It doesn't take long to download and it takes about 5 minutes to run on your PC. Now the good thing about this site is you're actually comparing the performance of your PC against other users with similar components. Now the reason why that's good is because it means that you can very quickly see whether your parts are running as fast as other people or whether they're running slower. If they're running slower, then that means probably something's wrong with your setup, or you could do something to increase the speed of your parts. So without further ado, let's quickly jump on the website and I'll show you the screen that I got, which is the performance I was getting out of the PC when I first set it up. So if we have a look here, we can see initially I was getting desktop 109% and workstation 90%. Now when you look at that score, it actually seems pretty decent, and I was quite happy with this, so I could have quite easily just gone, you know what, I don't really need to do anything with this, and left it there. However, of course, because I'm using one of the latest processors out, I was expecting it to run better than normal. However, I'll just give you a quick glance at what happened after I set this up. Now you can see here the desktop is now 123% and the workstation is 100%. So it's well worth running this optimization just to see whether you can get that extra bit of juice out of your PC. So let's go back to the first one. Now the reason I really like this site is it highlights immediately what it thinks is wrong. So here we can see there's PC status. It's performing below expectations, so that was the first alarm bell. There is another alert here about the graphics. I wasn't worried about that because I deliberately chose not to buy a graphics card initially just to save some bucks, and that's something I plan to update at a later stage. So ignoring that, we can scroll down here, and what it does is it confirms each piece of your hardware and gives it a rating and score on how well it thinks it's doing against other people's setups. So we can see the processor here was doing really well, 119%. That's the Intel i7-8700K, and that was the main part of this PC build, and I kind of built my PC around that processor, so I'm happy with that performance. Yeah, graphics rubbish, we know that. So here we can see these SSD drives aren't running as well as they should be. Both of them, although this M2 drive has still got a good score, it should be running better, and it's performing lower than other people's running the same. And then when we scroll down a little bit further, we can see the RAM is also not running very well. Now this is why I like this site. It will give you little tips about what you can do to check that it's running better. So in this case, it's saying ensure that you've enabled dual channel XMP BIOS profile. So XMP stands for extreme memory profile, and the reason you need to activate that is if you've purchased memory that is going to run faster than what your processor will support. So this was actually the case for me. I purchased 3200 speed RAM, and technically speaking the processor only supports 2400. By default the BIOS did not have that enabled. Now that's the complete part for this. Another thing that you can do, against each item you'll also see a little question mark here, and you can click on that and it will also give you some more tips and tricks on what may be causing the issue with the performance of that piece of hardware. So of course every setup's going to be different, so I'm not going to go into anything too specific in this video, but I'm just showing you how you can use this tool to make sure that your computer is running well. So the two changes that I made on my PC were I went into the BIOS and I enabled the XMP memory profile. By default, my BIOS had set everything to auto, and I noticed in auto mode the memory was actually running at 2100, which is actually lower than it should have been. I enabled the XMP, set that right up to 3200. That was the one issue, the memory. The second issue that I had was that my BIOS allowed me to set my M2 drive to run either off the PCIe bus or via the SATA. So I can't remember which one I'd selected it to, but I selected one of them, and that wasn't giving me the optimal performance. Now in this instance I actually selected auto to let the BIOS choose whichever was best, and then when I went back in, as we can see on my new screen here, everything was restored. Actually, if we look side by side, so initially this memory here was running 71.9. I got that up to 101%, so that was really good. And then if we look at the two SSD drives, we can see now the M2 is running at 219% versus that 165. And again, even this Samsung 850, which is just a very basic drive that everyone, I think, or a lot of people are using these days because it's relatively inexpensive, that was 77.3, and now that's running at 93.9. So in general, I'm really happy with the results that I'm getting from my new PC, and this user benchmark website and application just really let me get that extra performance that I needed from the PC. Now I haven't overclocked any of these parts except for the memory, which I was anticipating to do, and so far I've been really happy with the performance. So guys, I really recommend you try this tool out. Even if you've had your PC running for a while, it's well worth just checking that you couldn't do something to give it an extra boost. It'd be really good actually if you've been using your computer for a year and all of a sudden you can give it a quick speed boost, and it might give you an extra couple of years on that PC. Why don't you try out this tool and drop me a comment and let me know how much performance you've gained from using this tool. Or if you're using other software, why don't you leave a comment below and let others know what you're using and what the results have been. Maybe you've found something that's even more helpful. It's always good to know and share, guys. I'm all about trying to help you guys out and help you get the best experience and performance from your computer equipment. So with that, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Catch you soon.